Yo, 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 what up, man?
Video.
Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sports. That's right, Bar Talk with the super fans. We are chilling out with the crew. Who do you have today's edition? We got a guy who's walked the walk, he talks the talk. It is the Coach Tosco. Welcome back, brother. As always, faithful producer Crack AV, your fearless host Danny BMD, and me, of course, your amateur hype man, super fan art. We are going to be talking sports, South Texas style. Take it away, Dan.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sports. Coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, to your ears, providing some sports time for your free time. What up? This your host, Danny BMD. How's everyone doing today? And how did your team do this week or weekend? Because we've been having a lot of good games this week. First of all, how's everyone doing today? It's a new week. It's new championship series, and we're talking NHL. So a lot of things, new things going on in here. So just want to give a little quick round table hi from everyone. With just how are you doing, Tosco?
Doing good, man. Just taking it all in, man. We're in the middle of even though there's no football, we're in the middle of a million sports going on. So million sports and a couple of sports ending, and the continuation of others. But it's been a fun weekend.
No, yeah. I know that it's been just craziness, like in just in general in sports. So we'll definitely get into that, and of course, super fan art, always a Texas team super fan. How's it going, man?
Well, it could have been going better if the Texas did make it to the College World Finals. It's okay. I'll root for Vanderbilt. I'll get more into that later.
Very smart choice.
But yeah, it's been a good weekend. During the last couple of days of June, believe it or not, we're almost in July. But like I was going to say, there's good sports going on almost round the clock. So it's a very exciting time. I think all we're missing is just football. But yeah, doing good. Glad to be here with y'all on this lovely Tuesday evening.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. Yep.
enjoying my new headset as well.
I was gonna say, you got a new haircut or something? Like, no, new
Oh,
headset.
these old things.
And then of course, Crack AV. How's it going, bro?
Guys, hey Danny, I'm doing well. Found a little bit of time this week to catch that, CP3 doing things on basketball court. But yeah, doing things. I put asterisk on that thing.
Dang.
But yeah, hope you guys have been having fair weather out there. It's been raining here in San Antonio.
Yeah, so. Dude. It's been on. It's in like it rains off and on, and then it's like 100. It's like okay.
Ooh, yeah, it's getting muggy out here.
Yeah.
We'll clear the air for you here at Mezzo Forte Sportz.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, guys. So again, today we are gonna talk little NHL. Obviously, Standley Cup Finals have already been set series already. The first game's already been played. I mean, we need to catch up with that. And we do have. We'll talk a little bit of MLB sticky situation. Pun intended. Obviously, you guys know about that. And along with the college series, just NBA playoffs as they continue on. Do a couple updates on that. Get everyone's opinion. And we'll talk UEFA Euro. I do want to talk a little bit Copa America, just kind of the matchups. I know they're barely starting. But just like kind of more anything, not just the matchups really, because I mean it's not really a lot of strong teams there. I'm realizing now. Like that CONMEBOL doesn't actually have that many strong teams, but we'll talk about that. Talk about that later.
Okay.
Or we're not. No, we're not. No, let me rephrase it. We're not that far off from CONMEBOL's talent. Let's just put it that way. CONCACAF in general.
Okay. I just was gonna say I like that take. We'll see how true it is.
Yeah. So we'll see if we get into that. We'll definitely. I'll definitely get into that. So we'll go again. We'll start with the Standley Cup Finals. We do have the Canadians versus the Lightning. They're having what game one was what yesterday?
That's
Yes.
correct, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and have Superfan Art go ahead and lead us up with that. Talk to me, bro.
Excellent. Yeah, it's an exciting time. We're already at the final stage now for that quest for the cup. So the finals did go underway yesterday evening as the defending champs, the Tampa Bay Lightning, hosted Montreal Canadiens. So while Tampa is aiming for a two-peat, Montreal's last championship season was in 1993, which is also the last time any Canadian team has ever brought home the Stanley Cup. So there's a lot on, there's a lot at stake right there. But pretty much game one was all Lightning from the get-go as they crushed the Canadiens with a 5-1 final score. Tampa star Nikita Kucherov, he went back to work, proving why he's one of the best players currently out there active. I think he had 2 goals and 1 assist. He is now in the elite class of special players to have scored in 30 points in consecutive postseasons, including such legends as the Great One, Wayne Gretzky, and the Magnificent One, aka Le Magnifique Mario Lemieux. So not bad company there. So he's a legend in the making. So game 2 is going to be Wednesday evening. So we're going to see if Montreal can at least try to steal one in Tampa before they move to the other venue. I don't know what, probably Friday. But yeah, we'll keep up to date on that and keep posted with the scores probably coming on Thursday. So it's very exciting.
And one quick thing there, Nikita Kucherov was coming off that injury. The Tampa Bay Lightning played the Islanders, and they were able to beat the Islanders to move on in Game 7. But Kucherov had gotten hurt. I think it was in Game 6, and he came back to play Game 7. He scored there, and then here in Game 1, he's already back at 100%. You know, he's playing out of his mind. You know, he's probably going to be, if the Tampa Bay Lightning were to win the series and win the Stanley Cup, he'll probably be the MVP of the series. You know,
some people were saying he was kind of downplaying that injury a bit.
Well, it was one of those injuries that was a cross check, you know, and it was kind of like, could here and there, but maybe he took it as you know what, I just want to make sure I'm back and I'm 100%. You know, maybe I'll what is it called? I'll play it up a little bit, right? And then come back the next game 100%, and he did, and he scored, and now look at what he's doing. So maybe he was downplaying a little bit, but he's back at 100%. It looks like it.
Yeah, definitely. His presence alone is, you know, almost. I'm not gonna say the odds have shifted heavily in their favor because he's back now. So,
and with Kucherov, Point, and Stamkos, I mean, it's going to be difficult. I feel Montreal kind of seems more of a defensive-minded team, while Tampa Bay, it's crazy. I mean, they won it last year for a reason, and they're here again. So we'll see how it goes, but it's going to be a fun series. Montreal's going to do it for Canada.
All of Canada's hopes lie on that
Every
team
year,
right now.
It's one of the biggest deals that Canada's super upset when they never have anybody in the playoffs or much less in the finals.
Oh, wow, really? Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's a thing of pride. Well, I mean, it's their sport. That's their specialty.
I think once upon a time.
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly.
The Canadians were one of the top winningest teams, like in North American, like the top 4 sports out there.
Yeah,
they had 24 championships.
When Gretzky was there. And so, you know, when you see Tampa Bay from Florida winning the hockey championship and Stanley Cup, and the guys from Canada can't even make it past the first round of the playoffs, yeah, it stings a little bit.
Yeah, it's right in the maple syrup.
There you go.
Hey, Canadian maple syrup is good. I'm just saying.
Oh man, yeah, it's the best. But I mean, that's the only thing they've been good at for a while now.
Can anyone give me like an early prediction or no? It's too early.
No, I think Tampa. In my opinion, I think Tampa Bay will take it. I think Montreal, the Canadians can win a couple, maybe 1 or 2. Tampa Bay takes it again. They're too strong. Those 3 guys to begin with, it's too much.
I mean, I wouldn't say they could be compared to like the Brooklyn Nets. Too much offensive power.
Oh, okay. There we go. But to us non very hockey oriented. That's good. Dang, dude, that's crazy. I mean, that's. And then I actually wanted to talk about that. How about the whole talent thing? No, just throw a team together and it works. But the whole. So I wanted to I wanted to throw Brazil in not Brazil, but France in there in that conversation.
Brazil.
Yeah, and that's something we can get to in a little bit. But I mean, it helps when Braden Point, the guy from the forward from Tampa Bay, he's still playing on a rookie deal.
Oh dang!
You know, he's gonna be one of those. He's gonna be one of those guys that's gonna get a big deal once his contract's up.
That gets paid.
Yeah, and so when you have him, and you have Stamkos on a big contract, and Kucherov on a big contract, and a couple of other guys on big contracts. You know, Victor Hedman, he's another one of those that's real good, and McDonough. These guys, they're on big contracts. When you have a rookie that's doing real good, a guy on a rookie contract, I mean, it helps out tons. I mean, we see it in the NFL all the time.
Interesting. See if money can change things.
How about you, Arturo? Give me a prediction.
I kind of agree. Coach Tosco was saying about maybe the Canadians going to win at least one or two games, but ultimately Tampa's they're heavily favored for that too, Pete.
Oh yeah.
Nice. So we'll definitely keep up with that. Obviously, Mezzo Forte Sportz. You know, we're all multidisciplinary, or I forgot how I called it one day, but I really liked how I called it.
We're very versatile.
We're very versatile. We just like all types of sports. We don't. Some people aren't, necessarily, the actual fans, not fans, but just knowledgeable of the sport. But that's why we have a whole bunch of super fans.
The gurus.
The gurus. You got Coach Tosco, super fan Art, and I'm just here to kind of.
And next year,
is the guru in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was gonna say next year we'll get Evan to cover the Johnsonville Brats Cornhole Championships.
Oh, definitely.
That's shock putt or something. Or...
All right, guys. So we'll move right into our College World Series. Unfortunately, the Longhorns did lose. Super fans and mine. They did lose. It was a good game. I mean, it was. It was a good series. I mean, damn. It was just one game they had to lose, and they, won two. Talk to me, Superfan.
Yeah, I've been following for the past few weekends the Longhorns' progress. I know that they dropped a big one against Mississippi State early on that put them in the loser bracket. Then they were able to handle Tennessee, no problem. They get eliminated, and then after that they played against
Virginia.
Yeah. And they were able to handle them pretty decently. Don't get me wrong. And so, this is back with a rematch with Mississippi State, then Bulldogs. I think there was a little bit of a delay on the first game, which was on Friday, I believe. Yeah.
It was Friday. Friday. Yeah, Friday.
And it was pretty much neck and neck for most of the game. And then there was a rain delay for like almost an hour and a half. And then the Longhorns did go up by like a few runs. I think it was like 8-3 or something like that. No, 8-5.
8-5.
And then there's a rain delay. And then, there was only just like an inning and a half to go after the almost 2 hour rain delay. So they handled their business Friday night. But sadly, Saturday, like offense was pretty low. And it was tied. I want to say it was tied 3-3. And then, like, sadly, the Mississippi State, they were batting at the bottom of the inning. They, off of a hit, I think, not a hit, hit by pitch. One of the Mississippi Bulldogs guy got hit by pitch, and then they got a pinch runner for him, guy who's like badass at stealing bases. He got to second, and as soon as there was an infield pop fly or whatever, he just ran his ass home like quick. And that ended the game, 4-3. Longhorns eliminated. Had a good run. Had some good times. Good baseball. I think I enjoy college ball a little bit more. I don't know why. I guess because it's younger, raw talent. But currently we're already in the. It was game one of the finals. Oh, well, backtrack. The big story of the weekend was about NC State. NC State, they were up ahead, I think, because they had no losses, and it turns out one of the players got contracted COVID or had COVID-like symptoms, and so and all in total,
What?
they only had about 13 players that were
Yeah.
available, and it was
Yeah.
like a long delay
Wow.
too. So they
Yeah.
could either forfeited that game and try to bring back some more people for Saturday already with that loss. They're like, fuck it, let's try to play. That was Thursday, Friday,
That was Friday.
Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
They did play the field against Vanderbilt and they got crushed. I mean, it was no contest. No, it was not fair. I mean, they weren't
Yeah.
at full strength.
Yeah.
And so the following day, the NCAA announced that, like, hey, like, it's going to be no contest. NC State got forfeited, devastated, and Vanderbilt moves up by default.
Wow.
So that's currently where we're at. Vanderbilt game 1 with Mississippi State. I think
It was yesterday. They Vanderbilt won 8-2.
yes, Vanderbilt they won in the score 8-2. 7 runs of which were scored in the first inning alone, and pretty much after that it was Snoozeville. And so they're currently playing it. They're playing again tonight. If Vanderbilt wins, they win the whole ship because it's pretty much best out of 3. It was delayed for some time. I think they're currently resumed.
Yeah.
So Tosco, any thoughts about that devastating no contest for NC State or anything else?
It's because the thing is that going into the tournament, Vanderbilt is one of the favorites because they have the 2-headed monster. Their 2 best pitchers. They're going to go in the top 5 in the draft, both of them. And NC State beat them. NC State beat them and put Vanderbilt in the losers bracket, just like Texas, Mississippi State put Texas in the losers bracket. Same thing. NC State had already beat them, so it was like, whoa, like this is. And NC State beat them 1-0. It was 1 home run off Leiter. It was nuts. And then when they had to play again, and COVID hit, and COVID it got 1 player, but it affected like another 5 or 6. So when that game was played, they only played, like Arturo said, with 13, 14 players.
Yeah.
5 of them were playing positions they hadn't played before.
Oof.
So that was one of the more heartbreaking things because, what could have been if they were at full strength, but again, how and why did they break COVID protocols? How did he ended up testing positive for COVID? If he was following the rules and following all this, then I feel NC State would have had more of an issue, more of a maybe it's a false positive, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But something must have happened, and I guess maybe that's why NC State maybe isn't fighting it as much, because how did that kid get positive for COVID? And why, knowing that they're going to the College World Series, why not vaccinate all of them? Because not all of them are vaccinated. It's not required by the NCAA.
No.
So there's a lot of questions there. We don't know the answers to. They're not going to let the answers out. I'm assuming because maybe, the kid went out and did something he wasn't supposed to and got COVID. And then he was hanging out with his teammates and they all got COVID. So, I mean, it's one of those things we're never going to know. And it sucks, but that's the game, especially when it's something this important, you're right there. Why mess it up? Just follow the rules.
Yeah, just stay home.
And I think they were the only unranked team left.
They were one of those teams that was on a hot streak.
The Cinderella.
Yeah, they were. They were on the hot streak. They were going.
Of course.
Yeah. And well, I mean, they lost, and now Vanderbilt's made it, and Mississippi State ended up beating Texas, which sucked. Texas was the higher ranked team. Texas, I think, was ranked number 2, right? Something like that, number 3. So it sucks that Texas was so good, and they didn't end up making it. So now we have Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and well, yeah, like you said yesterday, they scored 7 runs in the first, and it was going to be a snooze fest because You had Jack Leiter on there. He's probably going to be the 3rd overall pick in the draft this coming year.
Yeah.
And what's it called? He pitched lights out. And then tonight, obviously we can't say any scores or whatever, and the game's happening right now. But Vanderbilt decided not to go with their second best pitcher, but to go with their third best pitcher because I'm assuming if it comes down to it where Vanderbilt's winning at the end and they need to get 3 outs, 2 innings, something like that, I'm pretty sure they're going to bring him in to close it out. And if Vanderbilt's losing, then they're going to have their second best pitcher for game 3 on Wednesday. So it's going to be crazy for Mississippi State. I mean, they're down 1 game already. It's going to be nuts to see if they actually pull off the win today and then go up against their second ace in Kumar Rocker and see if they can pull it off. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good to see, especially if Mississippi State can pull off the win tonight.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep posted on that let's say who the winner is Thursday, because I'm pretty sure somebody should have already won it all by then.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a lot of young star power destined for the show. A lot of kids, those young men, they're going to be going to the show soon.
Yep.
Yeah, so there we go. So just kind of moving forward into the show, we'll go right into the little sticky situation going on. I'll have Superfan Art kind of explain that. I know that we're kind of talking about it, and I'll just have Tosco just kind of elaborate, and then just kind of give us. Or wait, do you have that with you?
What I have a good amount of baseball notes. I'm
No,
ready
about Hector Santiago.
I got a little some.
Well, I'll just read. Just go ahead and just read the headline. So and the
Oh,
headline...
you won't? I'll read it.
All right, go ahead, Superfan. All
right. Okay.
What's going on?
Stay in your lane, Danny. Don't play. You're our best host. We love you.
Go for it.
Okay. So just to kind of pretense, I want to go after what's going on with the Rangers Astros real quick. Say a little bit about the All-Star game and selections and stuff. And then we'll go into sticky stuff because that's a good way to wrap it up.
Nice. All right.
Betcha. All right. So Texas Rangers had a good weekend as they swept a 3-game series with the Kansas City Royals. Next up is a 3-game matchup with a formidable Oakland A's starting tonight, I believe. On the other side, the Astros had a much more successful month of June with an 11-game win streak, although the streak did come to an end as they were handed 2 losses over this past weekend. I think then yesterday, Baltimore, they got some revenge with a 9-7 victory over the Astros. But on a more positive note, on Sunday, it was announced that the Astros have a league best 7 finalists to possibly start for the 2021 All-Star game. The Dodgers, Cubs, and the Blue Jays each have 5 finalists of their own to represent the American League. So voting for these finalists will end on this Thursday, and when the starters for both AL and NL will be revealed for that night, and the remaining rosters will be announced Sunday afternoon. So now the big story of the night that Danny want to get into was we have our first pitcher ejected as per this foreign substance protocols. So it was Seattle Mariners pitcher Hector Santiago. He was thrown out of Sunday's matchup versus the White Sox. As he was exiting the 5th inning, some of the umpires confiscated his glove, and they didn't like some kind of sticky substance on the inside of the palm of the glove, so he was promptly ejected. And with more on that, we'll go with Coach Tosco. What are your thoughts on this and repercussions going forward?
Yeah, I mean, they found the sticky stuff, like you said, under like a little flap, I guess, on the on tag on the glove, and Hector Santiago came out and said that it was just rosin, and sweat. Now, rosin is that little bag that's on the mound that you can use, kind of like chalk, I guess, kind of like that to help you grip, right? And he said that it was just rosin and sweat, and it was just building up on the glove. But I mean, realistically, if you're thinking about it, even if he's putting rosin on his hand to get grip, why would it be on your glove? And I get it. Okay, maybe you put your glove in there, you're gripping the ball, whatever.
But not for
But
like the Empire to like give you.
I mean, exactly. That's what they were. That's what they were talking about. It's like, well, I mean, there had to be a good amount. If it was just like a little line of rosin, they can say, okay, that's not right. But it had to be a certain amount of substance that should not be there. There shouldn't be anything on a glove. Period. It's just supposed to be leather, and that's it. And so they suspended him for 10 games. He's going to appeal the suspension, and we're going to he's going to go and appeal it. And if you really think about it, I mean, as a pitcher, and I guess that's what everybody was waiting for. They wanted to see, I guess, what the penalty was. Not to say, hey, well, I'll take 10 games. Because, I mean, if you really think about it, for a pitcher, 10 games is really maybe 2 games.
Or
If
like
you're
nothing,
a relief,
yeah. Yeah.
if you're a relief pitcher, you're maybe, 4 games, 5 games. If you're that good, if they use you a lot. And even at that, it's probably less because if the games are back to back, if you're in a stretch in the schedule, we have back to back to back to back. The managers don't like to use pitchers back to back to back nights. So he's probably gonna miss between 2 and 5 games. Well, as any pitcher, not just him. But I guess I feel that the suspensions, if it's going to be 10 games, maybe 10 games for your first offense and maybe more after. But
I was going to say, like, maybe like 50 games or something, like.
Maybe something like offenders. That. But I guess maybe it's going to be after a second, offense. But they've been cracking down on it. They've been checking the gloves, and a real good article that I read the other day is like, if these guys have been taught for years to use this stuff, why aren't they cracking down in college? Because if they are coming into the MLB and just starting to use it, it would be a lot less because there wouldn't be any that need it because they've been using it. They haven't been using it all the way in college. So if you're a pitcher in college and you're throwing 100 miles per hour without it, and you're throwing these sliders and curveballs, and you have so much movement, then when you get to MLB, why are you going to need more sticky stuff to help you? You already have it. So there's going to be less and less pitchers, but that's not the case. So that means that obviously they're using it at a younger and younger level. I think the crackdown needs to happen there.
At T-ball.
Yeah, at T-ball. And instead of it happening in the MLB the way it is, because for a starting pitcher, it's going to be 2 games. That's fine. Like it's not a big deal. And then especially if you're on a team that's not doing very well, like the Mariners are. So I don't know. I mean, the Mariners are doing okay, but I don't know. I don't know. 10 games is not enough. I feel it needs to be more. I need 3-4 starts. Really hurt the team and be like, what are we gonna do about this guy? We need somebody else. So
yeah. Or you gotta hit unfortunately, you gotta hit sometimes teams where it hurts them the most, which is what their pocket and their down or bottom line rather.
And the thing is also is I'm sure there's pitchers that are doing it. They're still doing it. They're just finding new ways to hide it. But if it's pitchers, I don't know. I guess I don't know how I'm trying to word it, but if it's a team that has, like, let's say the White Sox or the Dodgers, let's say the Dodgers they're one of the teams that has the highest spin rate on the ball, right?
Yeah.
So it is assumed that they're a team that is using the spider tech, right?
Yeah.
And ever since they've been cracking down, the team's spin rate has gone way down. So obviously that kind of shows they've been using it.
Or something
now they're
happened.
stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Or now they're stopping. But now it comes back to, okay, if you really need, if you really need it and you need these wins because the Dodgers are competing hard in their division versus the Giants and the Padres to win that division, if they need wins and you know what, they need the sticky tack, you know, are they willing to risk it for 10 games, 2 starts when they have such a deep open where they can bring, oh, we lose this guy, it's fine, we got another good one come in.
Dale the next guy. And then you two, next one.
So how much are the teams are going to be willing to risk it now that they know the punishment? You know, teams that actually do have the depth and that maybe do need that spin rate, because the Dodgers, they're not excelling like we thought they were. You know, they have all these great pitchers, but they're not doing, you know, as great as we thought they were going to be doing. And they're in second place in their division. So it's going to be good to see. It kind of gave us a guideline of where the punishment is and where we're going to now. The checks are going to keep on happening, and hopefully we can start getting some data.
It's probably going to get worse now.
I hope so. Give the All-Star break some give them more time to think of creative ways to get that sticky stuff on the field.
That's exactly that's a great point right there. It's the All-Star break's coming up. There's only a certain amount of players that are actually going to play in it, so the rest of them can figure it out, and they can figure out how to hide it, where they can put it, and maybe something else they can use. And there's already been talks of saying, okay, the MLB is trying to find something for them to use. For example, they're using the rosin bag, right? That bag is on the mound, they can use it, right? Well, the pitchers don't use it because they say it's not good enough, okay? But now we know they're using spider tack, right? Which is super good. So let's say on a scale, let's say the rosin bag's a 1, the spider tack's a 10. The MLB needs to find something that's like a 5 that they're going to make legal so that, hey, you're going to get some grip, but you're not going to get too much grip. Right? And we'll make it legal and you can use it. Because if not, then the pitcher.
Honestly, dude, go to Shark Tank right now. Like, just go to Shark Tank right now.
and the thing is that it's already in talks. There's something like that happening because, yes, the batters were complaining, but now the pitchers are going to start complaining, right? Yep. Now the pitchers are going to say, well, now I have nothing to use to help me grip, and I'm giving up home runs, and my stats are horrible. I'm not going to get a contract. Nobody's going to sign me. So it's going to have to go both ways. It's going to go both ways.
But you shouldn't you just be talented and try your best?
Well,
when there's money on the line.
Yeah, no, and that's a great point, Danny. But
I mean, like, it's dumb, right? To like, and kind of funny, but
it's because it is funny, and I think we're past the point of, you know what, just do it off of talent. There's already too many people that are not doing it off of talent.
Yeah. So, it's like the playing field is so lopsided. Like you just doing that is just leveling the field.
Exactly.
Like you're not even positive. You're just zero. Like you're negative if you just do by pure talent. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's where they are now. So this is going to be something that's going to be ongoing, and this is not going to be the end of it. This is going to be the beginning, and I hope that MLB doesn't, give in to some of their critics and be like, no, you know what, let's just forget about the checks. Let's forget about this. And because then a lot of fans are going to be shying away, after what they did, because then they're going to say, well, this year was affected and it affected my team. You're going to have Dodger fans saying it affected us and look at us.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good to see. And hopefully, like I said, we'll get some data about all the pitchers, all the teams, and see what the changes are. Hopefully we can get it soon.
Nice. Hopefully they'll find that middle ground. Yeah, like you said.
Yep.
Awesome. What's up, Danny? Anything else to add for our diamond talk for the evening?
No. Just that was just very interesting. It's very smart. Those go where it's true, because the MLB wants to when they want to bring a little bit more of a bigger audience or a larger audience, right? Expand their audience a little bit more, and keep it more consistent, because even like the super fans that they have, they're consistent, but there's nothing beats like kind of going to a baseball game more than any other sport. You know, every other sport there's like very few games that you go like you have to make a kind of like a spectacle of the entire day, right? But baseball, I mean, not baseball. You can go like once, you know, maybe every month or so, type of thing, you know, because they have so many games.
Yeah.
So the fans are like so like, you know, they're integral in every sport, but in baseball it really matters. Just
Yeah.
because it's been such an old sport, it's changed, evolved. Stars have come and gone, and you know now this thing is going on. Like, oh, we're trying to make it better, and then like, well, are you guys trying to cheat or what? You know?
And you make a great point there, because if you think about it, you know, if you get season tickets to the Spurs, you're probably have the chance to go see what 30, 40 games, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean that's a good amount, right? You know, and then, you know, if you get season tickets for the Cowboys, you only get to see 8 games, right?
Yeah.
If you get season tickets to go see the Astros, you have 80 something games that you can go see.
Yeah.
You know, and if you live, and I'm assuming if you're a season holder, you live right there, you're gonna want to go. You can go almost every day to the game. If you're at home, you're gonna go. You can go
like
every single day.
right after work, just chill.
Right after work, no, and I've gone. I've had some clinics that I would have to go, some coaching clinics in Houston.
Yeah.
And we've gone after the clinics. We've gone to some Astros games, and that's what you see. You see the people walking down, and they're getting leave because it's downtown. You see them leaving their jobs. They're taking off their tie, put it in their bag, put it in their briefcase, you know, and then they're just walking to the bar. They're walking to the stadium.
Yeah.
And they're going straight to the game. I mean, and it's fun. I would love to live in a city like that, to where we can have something like that, and it's awesome. But you're right. It's those fans that are going to be affected when they say, "Hey, my team's being affected.
Yeah.
My team is this rule that you're doing, these checks. It's affecting my team." Now, are you going to be that fan that's going to say, "Well, I'd rather have them use spider tack," you know, or are you going to stay with the integrity of the game?
Yeah.
Either way, it's affecting your team.
Yeah,
so what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, it's affecting your team. And whatever the MLB decides, you know, going forward, they need to keep that in mind, because though it's going to affect the fans.
Yeah, exactly. And so, just kind of keeping in mind, obviously, like as they try to bring in new audience, they might, you know, they should also keep in mind to keep their actual audience as well.
Exactly.
As they, you know, because you guys are super fans of it, but you know, as like, it continues on, like, come on, like this is just bad light, you know, we're trying to bring new people in, and you know, this is going on. But I think, I don't know, I was personally, I was never a fan of baseball, just watching it, but I love playing it, and I love going to the games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, going to the games is fun, dude.
Going to the games is awesome. I love it. I've been
the ambience is really it's just like, I mean, every sport has its own thing, right? But I don't know, baseball is just I don't know, everyone's just kind of chilling. Everyone's like in your backyard type of thing, you know,
Some
like
cold beers at the ballpark, man.
It's because I think that's exactly what you said. It is. It's the fact that there's so many games that it's like, you know what, this one may not be the how do you call it, it's not, every game's important, but there's some that are more important than others. Like, for example, when the Astros are playing the A's, that's important because you want to win those games because it's a divisional opponent, right? But when the Astros are playing the Tigers or the Royals, you know, one of the worst teams in the league, you know, it's like, okay, don't get me wrong, it's gonna be a fun game, but you know, let's take it easy. Let's go have some fun. You know, it's not gonna be we're gonna be into it, cheering and chanting. And even if you're there cheering and chanting, you're chanting with the crowd and whatever, and it's fun. But when you're there and you're gonna go see them against the Royals and the Tigers, when you're assuming, hey, we're the better team, we should win. Let's take a chill tonight. You can walk around the stadium. They have so many things for you to do. so much food that you can go get. I mean, the Astro Stadium even has Torchy's tacos in there. So,
Nice.
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah, and so all that. I mean, it's just fun. You can walk around. You can even go to the bar there, hang out, go see. You can watch on the TV, or the Astros even have like to where the bar you can see out into the stadium, into the field. So I mean, it's just and all these stadiums have different things. Like I know the Braves Stadium, they have something called the Chop, where the wall on the outfield, the outfield wall, well on the right field, they made it into a restaurant.
Oh,
So the
nice.
wall is no longer like padding; it is an actual window. So people are sitting there, and it's like one of those windows that's like reinforced. It's not gonna break or anything, but there's people there that are sitting down, eating, watching, drinking, and they're watching it from the outfield going out. That's pretty
Damn.
cool. It's something different. Tampa Bay Rays have a swimming pool out in center field, and it's a bar with a swimming pool, and you can go in there. Arizona has a swimming pool also out there in center field. Like it's just different things, different attractions, and sometimes just go fun to go do those things. And then when you get a game that's important, you're there, you're cheering, you have your beer, you have your section, and you're cheering on the players. It's awesome. If you're serious for it, if you're just going for fun, either way, it's an awesome experience. I enjoy it a lot.
Bitchin'.
Nice.
Sadly,
nice.
it's a bit of a drive for us to go to the closest MLB game, but yeah.
I mean, you can still come. I mean, we can still go. I mean, Houston is how far from Laredo?
It's 4 hours.
Dang, dude, seriously? I mean, it's only like
But it's 2.5 from San Antonio, no?
2.5. Well, and some.
Three.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 2 and change.
yeah. So it's not that far. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that close, but it's far
Yeah.
enough for like I don't know. But
Yeah,
we'll make it a weekend thing, guy.
Yeah, if we lived in New York, 2 hours driving one way, we already would be through like 5 states.
For real,
Yeah.
we got through like 4 stadiums.
You're Canada, bro. What?
All right, guys. So we'll go right into our actual. What are we doing next? Oh, we're doing our NBA playoffs. Just kind of go through. In this case, we'll do the East real quick. Yeah, so we do have the Bucks Hawks right now. They actually are going on. It's 2-1. Hawks are actually up. In the series. And we do have Giannis and Middleton, obviously, pulling through for the team. And we do have Trae Young going down. He did actually go down with an ankle injury. I think he's out might be out for a couple games. I don't know if he's gonna return. So just want to get everyone's quick thoughts on that. What do you guys think?
Well, can we say something that happened earlier in this current game?
Yeah. What's up?
I believe sometime in maybe early in the third quarter of this current Bucks game, that I think Giannis left with an injury.
Oh, really?
Like he's done for the day. Yeah, it was
Oh,
bad.
dang.
Like his leg looked like.
Dang.
I mean, it wasn't broke. He walked away on his own. His own power,
free will.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it didn't look. It didn't look good, man. So maybe he could even be doubtful for the next game.
All right. Well, I guess just like with that in mind, we'll kind of get right into it. I don't know, dude. This was like for me. I think it's just gonna be I might go to like a 7-game series, regardless if Giannis goes down. Honestly, I can just see the Bucks winning just out of pure talent. Just that, I can see the Hawks pulling through 1 or 2 games where they're like, we don't have Trae Young, we can do this on our own, but it's the NBA finals, it's a grind, and I think just the Bucks, just out of just talent, they'll be able to grind it out if it goes to 7 games. What do you think, Tosco?
it's crazy because you're seeing the game that's happening tonight without Trae Young and without giving, scores or anything, but the Hawks are leading by a lot. And you're seeing this game and you're like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. Yes, the Hawks won in the first game, and it was because they basically came in and they punched Milwaukee in the mouth. I think Milwaukee was not ready.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
They were coming out of that series with the Nets, and they were,
damn,
thinking they were the big
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
All you guys beat was the Knicks or whatever. But honestly,
Yeah.
I think the Knicks is what launched the Hawks. Honestly.
Oh no, I think so.
Especially fueled Trae Young to like kind of just. I mean, he took the villain role and he embraced it.
And so the Hawks came out, punched them in the mouth, started shooting, were shooting lights out, won the game. And then game 2 and game 3, you saw the Bucks saying, "Hey, no more. We're the better team. We're gonna dominate you." And it's true. The Bucks are the better team by leaps and bounds. If you put them on paper, the Bucks are the better team 10 times out of 10. The Bucks are gonna win this. I think the Bucks are gonna win this. Not that I've been right on a lot of things, anyways, on the NBA. But the
Educated
Bucks,
guess.
yeah. But and I don't think a lot of people have been either. But educated guess, the Bucks are gonna win the series, and well, assuming Giannis is fine, right?
He's out. Well, for the rest of this game.
He's for the rest of this game. Hopefully, it's. I mean, we never want to wish injury on anybody, right? But
It's at his left knee.
yeah, it's a knee. They're saying it's hyperextended. We just need to. We don't know how bad it is. If it's something that's not too bad, then okay. But if it's something, bad, then
bro, it's because it's the big man, dude. It's always the knees, bro.
But I like, and I don't like to give credit, but I have to. I like what Kendrick Perkins said.
Oh no!
That guy.
Take it back, dude. Please take
All
it
right,
back.
Chris Middleton is Batman. Giannis is Robin.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's what he said. Man, it's okay that.
And I'll give a counter real quick. I'll give a counterpoint where
Okay.
I still think that Giannis is the number one. But he's not the best offensive player on the team. I think Chris Middleton is the best offensive player, whereas Giannis can literally do everything else.
Oh yeah, hard.
Right?
Yeah,
so he's like essentially Ben Simmons, but just like a bigger and stronger. Well, I know they play differently because it's a point guard and like kind of like it's a little different.
What I mean that I think what he's trying to say is that Chris Middleton has been the guy, and maybe not every game because Giannis has had some good games. I know that game 7 versus the Nets, he had 40-something points. He put him under his back, and he does that. But Chris Middleton has been the one that's kind of been more consistent offensively. They give him the ball, he shoots it. It's been there. At the end of the game, it's been there. So I think what he's saying is correct, and I agree with you too. Chris Middleton is a better offensive player than Giannis in the sense of scoring, but Giannis is a better overall player, offense, defense, everything, passing. He's a better player there. And it's okay that Chris Middleton is the Batman, the leader in this year, this playoffs. It may change next year with Giannis, whatever.
Yeah, but just right now.
But right now, this is the way it is.
The team,
and going into tonight's game, I wanted to see, hey, especially with Trae Young being out, the Hawks leading scorer, main guy, I wanted to see Milwaukee come out and be the dominant team and shut this down and shut it out and call it a series.
Put their foot on the throat type of thing.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's over. We're gonna win this game, and then sure, you might win the next one or whatever. but we're
Well,
gonna win.
yeah.
We have three chances. Yeah, we have three chances. We're gonna do it because we're the better team. But the way they came out, I just don't. The way they're playing tonight, I just don't get it. I don't understand. What it is with this team, and I guess maybe that's why they haven't been, to a championship with this group. The last 3-4 years where they've been competitive, but they don't make it past the first, second round for a reason. And I guess we're seeing some of that tonight. And now that Giannis is out, hopefully it's not something too bad. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to chalk it up to a loss right now, and then just recoup. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. Milwaukee's a better team, even without Giannis. Milwaukee is a better team. I think so. If you're taking out Giannis and you're taking out Trae Young,
I was gonna say, yeah. Even then, I still think that's it. They're just
Milwaukee's a better overall team.
Yeah, because Middleton will like score for like the whole bench.
Yeah, you have Middleton, you still have Holiday, you still have PJ Tucker, you have Brook Lopez, you still have DiVincenzo, not DiVincenzo. What is it, Connaughton? I mean, you still got players. I mean, you still have Portis. So it's not like it's just like, oh, it's over. No, you still got some players. You got a talented team. You should still be winning this game. So we'll see how it goes, man. It's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be back and forth now, especially with the injuries. We don't know how it's gonna end out. What's gonna end up happening, but I think Milwaukee should win the series and go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah. Nice. So we'll go right into the West. Actually, no, we'll grab a super fan art. I don't know if you want to throw your 2 more cents in there.
Yeah, I mean, I was going for the underdogs here, for the Hawks. Don't get me wrong. And then Trae Young, he went out. I don't even know if he'll even suit up for the next game. But then the whole Giannis that happened earlier this game, so it's a toss up. It could be anybody's game now. Who wants it more? Is Middleton going to show up like he did in the last game? Can he handle being the captain? I think he could. Offensively, yeah, he'll get his own, but he needs to get other teammates involved, and that's where that could be a catalyst. He needs to try to be a catalyst for getting also the bench involved as well. I don't know if you wanted to talk about injuries. See, now that Giannis is down, you had a little segment for later on. Maybe we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, we'll do that
after the Suns segment.
Yeah, we'll do that a little bit later on. But we'll just now that you're already talking about the Suns, we'll go right into that then. Sun Clippers. So that's another team also that's like doesn't want to back down, Tosco. You super fan art. I'll start with you. The Clippers stay alive while the Suns burn out. What's going on, bro?
I don't know what it is about being down 2 games, but that's how the Clippers like to play it. They start winning all of a sudden. Paul George played like a man possessed. He definitely silenced the haters. Even when your boy, what's his face? I keep forgetting his name. Jackson. But he was out, and it had to be Boogie Cousins who had to be
Zubac.
Your favorite player Zubac was out, and I was like, oh, Boogie Cousins, like he didn't have the conditioning to like go up and down the floor.
I know that's exactly what it is. Ariel said that,
but he made it work.
Yeah, dude.
He had one of his best games in his recent career, and they were able to steal a game out there in the desert. There was some crazy antics by Patrick Beverley. I think you compared him as almost Bruce Bowen-ish. He's just very annoying. It's a very entertaining series. It's definitely hasn't been that. It's not been a snooze fest. Obviously, I'm going for the Suns, so a little bit biased there. But yeah, it's interesting to see how they're proceeding forward without Kawhi, just staring at him from like the top deck and stuff, just like, what am I gonna cut next year?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're entertaining. Yeah,
it was. I thought that was very interesting. But go ahead, super fan.
Yeah, I just think.
Go ahead, Tosco.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
go
you hear
ahead.
me? Yeah.
Here you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Yeah. I just think it's the role players, man. I think Superfan are hitting on the head with DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench, and I think Reggie Jackson is having I think he already set a record for the most threes in the playoffs for a Clipper in Clipper history. I mean, it's Reggie Jackson, it's Marcus Morris. I didn't realize how good Marcus Morris. I know which one is the better twin now. The other one's not that great.
yeah. No,
So
that's why they're paying him.
he's good.
That's why they're paying him money here.
Yeah. And
They're paying him money here. Yeah, the other one's what, New York? Was it one?
I think
It was a one.
Boston. I think
Oh,
it
it
was
is Boston. Yeah, Boston.
We were gonna get that one. The Spurs were gonna get that one, which is not the better one. So
Yeah, that's good.
obviously. But even the role players, and even when like the guy that stepped up in the last series, Terrence Mann, he didn't really have that great of a series, great of a game this last game. I mean, but being in there, being a defensive presence, Marcus Morris, and they start off the game great. They start off the game with like a 15-4 run, 15-5 run. And they were just shooting the ball, lights out, boom, 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 boom. And I think that's what the Clippers need to do against a team like this, because the Suns can score, and they can score whenever, on whoever, and they will go on runs, and they will pick you apart. If it's not the three ball, I mean, honestly, to the beginning of the game, like I told you, that was a 15-5 run. I mean, the Suns missed like 4 open threes. They were wide open threes right away, boom, boom, boom. If they would have gone in, the Suns would have the lead. And that's what the Clippers started off hot. The Suns would have the lead after that. So it's crazy to see, it's crazy to see how good the Suns are. And the Suns are going to win this series. I think they take it in the next game. They let this one go. I think the Clippers played, they played to win the game last night. I think they played to win the game instead of playing not to lose. And those are two different things. And Paul George, like Arturo said, he was his man possessed.
He was, dude. That was.
Yeah, he was.
Like he wasn't like the Pacers again.
Yeah, seriously. I
Yeah.
literally thought it was like, wait, am I watching like PG back in the Pacers?
Vintage,
Oladipo.
vintage Paul George.
With Victor Oladipo.
And so it was nice to see Paul George do that, in the playoffs, and so he can get over those critics and those all those headlines that come at him, but I mean, the role players were awesome. I mean, the Clippers are a very talented team, and if they can continue, the way they're playing, then all hats off to them. They can pull it off, but I think the Suns is too much, man. I think the Suns are too much, and I think one of the things that the Clippers did good was that they defended DeAndre Ayton and held them to 10 points.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's
and
exactly what it was, because they didn't
That's
have
exactly.
because
Zubac's.
Boogie Cousins was bossing him around, because he's obviously
And so-
bigger. So
Yeah.
he didn't even have to do much. He just literally bodied him. Like,
And that's what Boogie Cousins has always been. He's always been an enforcer. And so if Boogie Cousins, and I want to see the next game, I'm going to pay more attention to that, because seeing this, they're going to want to put DeMarcus Cousins on DeAndre Ayton.
yeah. Even if Zubac comes back, they're gonna want to like, hey, get
of
in
course,
there.
because he's the one that's had probably the most success. So we're gonna see if DeAndre Ayton, the Suns make an adjustment and try to get DeAndre Ayton, obviously do the screens and find a mismatch, switch them off and do the switches and see if DeAndre Ayton can go off. How he usually does. Devin Booker's going to get his. Chris Paul's going to get his. So that you're going to need to stop, if you can't stop both of them. So you take out Ayton. So, and again, the role players didn't really show up for the Phoenix Suns last night. Jay Crowder only had 4. Mikal Bridges only had 5. Cameron Payne had 5. These are guys that usually are in the double digits, even if it's 10,
Right.
11 points. So these guys didn't really show up. Sarge only had 2 points. So we're gonna see how it goes, but I think the Suns are too much. The Suns are too much. Unless the Clippers, get back Kawhi, then maybe. But I doubt Kawhi is gonna show up. Yeah, he's already coming up with excuses.
Dude,
That he doesn't like the medical staff. He doesn't like the way they're handling the injury.
Oh,
Yeah, that already came out. Yeah, San Antonio 2.0.
It.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I hope for the
Did
Clippers.
Did you see him though? Like he was with his family, like they're chilling up there, or whatever. Like
yeah, they're
what
up
do
in
you
the
think?
box.
Like what did you do? I mean, you're a coach, right? I mean, you're like for grade school and stuff like that, right? But you still like it's still like you still know like kind of like how the ambient is, like the coaches that were like the parents, not the parents, but the audience and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah,
it's like it's like dynamic or whatever that.
Yeah.
Like you're in battle and your star players up like 10 rows up eating nachos and shit. Come on, let's be there for your teammates, guy.
Exactly. It's like, you're really gonna just do whatever you gotta do to get on the court. Stop making excuses. Stop coming up with complaints. Stop coming up with, but it's because they're not doing what I like. Who gives a shit? Do what they're telling you to do so you can get out there with your teammates. Like, that's what I don't understand. That's one thing I don't understand, and not just in sports, but in any profession. You're getting paid to do a job, do it. Regardless of what it is, do your job. Whether you like it or not, you signed up for it, do your job. If they're telling you you have to do this and you have to do that, don't complain. You signed up for it, do your job. If you don't like it, then go. But Kawhi's not going to leave $200 million or whatever it is that he's getting. So
yeah, and it's it's like at some point, like because people talk about player empowerment and everything like that, especially in the NBA,
of course,
for player movement, right? But like I mean, I understand. I agree, Tosco. Like, no offense, like NBA player, but you're getting paid a lot of money. You're getting paid a lot of money that a lot of people wish they had. You're getting paid more money than like almost sometimes entire countries and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like I would not be talking. Like we're very very spoiled. Obviously here in the United States we can go very off topic with that, right? But just in general we're like just kind of making it relative to the team. Every sport is different, but sometimes the player, as a player, you gotta kind of know your role. Art was like, know your lane, dude. If they're doing this stuff for you, then okay, use it, but don't take advantage of it because now you're taking away. Like they're there's like they're trying to build this, and you're part of it, but now you're like destroying it, or not destroying it, but you're like deteriorating it slowly.
No, but it is because it is. Think about it like this.
Like, dude,
if the players like Kawhi start coming out with the attitude and their crap, and look at what happened to Doc Rivers. He lost his job. Say what you want. Yes, he already has millions of dollars, and yes, he got another job and whatever. But the fact is that because you didn't go out there and perform, you didn't do your job, somebody else lost their job.
Yeah.
And somebody else on your team got cut, got traded, because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. They think our team is not ready the way it's built. So we have to get rid of players. We have to bring in new players. Okay? We're not going to re-sign these players. I mean, you all have the Clippers had Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, I don't know. 6 man of the year.
Bye-bye. Why? Because it didn't work. Why? Because for whatever reason, something didn't happen. Hawaii didn't like it.
Bet you they would love him right now. Shit.
So, and that's one of the things, and you're absolutely right. You're doing a job. They're providing this for you. Cool. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But don't expect to get paid. But don't take away from from what is being provided from. Don't take away from others that are relying on you, because you're the star. You're the one that's getting 200 mil. The guy on the bench is not getting 200 mil. That guy's barely getting the veteran minimum. Get 10K, 20K, 50K a night. You know,
Longer
making
in the league than you, by the way, as well.
Oh yeah, these guys have been playing in the G League, have been on 10 different teams on the bench. You know, making
They barely have a parking
minimum.
space in the parking lot.
Exactly. You know, and they're driving up in their Honda Civics and shit, and you're over here, you know, making $1 million a half, basically. You know, and you're bitching about, oh, it's because I don't like the way this guy does the rehab on me. Bro, these guys are some of the best in the world. It's not like the Clippers are hiring scraps.
Yeah.
It's not like they're getting the new hires and the new grads from fucking whatever university. Come on, bro. Like,
these are professional teams. Like these
exactly.
guys, I'm pretty sure billion-dollar companies know what they're doing. Like it's kind of crazy. I don't know.
Boss, your owner is he was the owner of one of the biggest companies in the world. He's a billionaire. You're telling me this guy doesn't invest in your team?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I don't know. I think at that point, it goes back to, remember that point where, like, is the team bigger? Can the player be bigger than the team? Remember going back to the Aaron Rodgers thing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is like a little different, right? But is it close? I mean, are we close?
Oh no, I think no. That exists. There's players that are bigger than the team, especially in basketball. But Kawhi is quickly becoming a guy that was that, and now is not becoming that.
Now he's like in spite of the team, kind of.
It's because you think about it. Yes, he did it with the Spurs. The Spurs still had their Hall of Famers, okay? And they weren't deteriorated all the way. Tony Parker was still putting up Tony Parker things.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan was still doing Tim Duncan things. Manu Ginobili was still doing Manu Ginobili things. Were they doing it more often? No, but that's where Kawhi stepped in. Yeah. And we could see that Kawhi was going to be a superstar, right? But then, okay, cool. He still had a cast run. He goes to Toronto, where we can say Toronto was probably a superstar away with the team they had: Kyle Lowry, Siakam,
LeBron James,
Ibaka, Danny Green.
Yeah, they had some players there.
Yeah.
So he goes in the East, which is weak as shit, right? And they go and because that's the year LeBron left. LeBron went to the Lakers. That was his first year with the Lakers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and LeBron left.
Yeah, so LeBron left. They're there. They're going up against the East that's weak. They went out and then they go and they beat the Warriors, right? They beat the Warriors.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was the Warriors, right? Yeah, it was the Warriors. So, but either way, what I'm getting at is yeah, I mean, I think he won that and he did it more. He put it on the shoulders because it was a contract year. It was a 1-year deal. It was like, if I want to get the bag, I need to show everybody. And he put on a show and he did it. But now he goes to LA and it's like, I feel that it's like
now he's just kind of cruising, dude. He's just chilling.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're not getting our full worth of what we're paying you. So that's why he's not. And now he's losing the. Is he bigger than the franchise? No, not anymore. I feel that he's not, because he's not producing the way he should. The results are not there. So I think he's quickly becoming from yes on that list to no on that list. You can still say LeBron, yes, Kevin Durant, yes, they're bigger than the franchises. James Harden, you can probably even say yes because of the way he scores, and there's a couple of other guys. There's not too many. Luka Doncic is becoming a yes now. He's going towards that yes area. You can even say Devin Booker, heading to that area. Trae Young, maybe heading to that area. We still need time on those guys. They still need to do more. They still need to, go to the playoffs, win series and all that. Then we can start saying yes, for sure. but those are guys that are heading in that direction. Giannis, yes, probably, right? We can say he's 2 MVPs. So you would have to say yes for Giannis, right? Maybe not this season, right? Maybe not this season. But
I don't know. I don't know. Giannis is kind of. I mean, he is a franchise changer, right? But
yeah, of course, but maybe he's not producing right now how you would think he would. But I would think that he's. I mean, being an MVP twice. I mean,
yeah, true that.
But we're gonna see. I mean, it's very disappointing that the Clippers have had so much, even going back to when the Blake Griffin days and the Chris Paul days, and they couldn't do it. And it was, for whatever reason, they had the teams, but it's nuts. It's crazy that even with so many good players and good runs and so many wins and so many things, and they still can't perform. Just shows you how hard it is.
Yeah. It's just. I mean, it's just. Man, one of those things where it's just hard to win the NBA playoffs. I mean, was it Chris Paul has never gone to the finals?
Yep.
Man, you could say he's arguably a top, 5 point guard. Honestly, like pure point guard, at least a pure point guard.
Wait, top 5 in the league or top 5 ever?
Like ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't in the league maybe even now right now. Even right now, right? I don't know about right now
Oh no, right now he's probably number 1, number 2, somewhere there.
Yeah,
the way he's been playing.
Yeah.
But ever, you can say he's for sure in the top 10.
Yeah, it's for sure.
You
top
can probably
10.
say top 5.
Do you think he's better? You think he's better than Stockton?
No,
I think. Look, I want to say yes only because, he's very similar to Stockton and he has a good mid range, like a reliable one.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Stockton wasn't that much. I think Stockton has, way more assists, if I'm remembering correctly. But I think Chris Paul scores him by a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I think I don't remember the stats. They're not. I don't have them. These stats right off the top of my head, but and I would assume that has way more assists, but Chris Paul has way more points. Maybe not way more, but more points. Because I feel that Chris Paul has 30, 40-point games, and I don't remember John Stockton having 30, 40-point games.
Yeah.
But I remember John Stockton having, 15 assists, 20 assists, 17 assists a night.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what is it, 11? Yeah. He was averaging 11, 12, 13 assists in the season. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a good comparison in the sense, John Stockton made it to the championships, but couldn't win one, and so I mean, Chris Paul has been the same. I think John Stockton has had more success in the playoffs because he made it at least to the championship, and like you said, Chris Paul has never made it to the
finals.
The finals, so maybe it changes this year. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how it goes this year and how it's just gonna continue with the actual NBA finals. I don't know. I like this. It's very different teams, very different players, different styles, and you don't have stars pulling through. The only thing that kind of sucks is the whole injury bug just biting everyone. But it is what it is.
Well, and I know you're gonna bring this up. And I didn't know if you were gonna bring up what LeBron James said.
Yeah, so we're actually moving right into that.
Okay.
So in this case, just injuries in postseason. The NBA stars are falling with injuries.
Regular Hurt Locker.
You have Harden, Kyrie, Luka, Leonard, AD, Embiid, Trae Young, and I guess now Giannis. So I guess the question is, did the season start too early? The stars not taking care of themselves. Like, what's going on? Is it the actual NBA? Can the NBA do anything about it to just kind of start protecting players more? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, do you have what LeBron said?
I can pull it up.
I
Okay,
can
what
paraphrase.
Yeah, I do know what it is, but
No, I know the paraphrase, but I want to have it.
Okay,
I want
verbatim.
you to read it verbatim because I have a counterpoint to what he said.
Oh, gonna clap back. Find that shit, Danny.
because so the season ended in what? September, October?
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Yeah,
September.
it ended because of the bubble. It ended like what, August, September, something like that. And then it was gonna start back up in. It started back up in January, right? That's I guess when it started.
In December.
It started in December.
Yeah.
So I remember that they were saying it's too early, and then they were still gonna play the 80 games, right? They played 72. They played 10 less games, and so they were still gonna play those 70 games, and they were gonna fit them in from December to now instead of October to now, an extra 2 months. But obviously, because of the COVID and the bubble, it moved everything back. And I think there was only 2 or 3 months of rest that they had. And so now that's why this issue comes up. But LeBron went ahead and said, I don't know if you have it already.
It's on the. It was on. I was trying to pull it up on Twitter, but it's on Instagram, right?
I have no idea where he put it. Let me see. Okay.
Is it Twitter?
Yeah, it was Twitter. But I think I have it here. If I can zoom in. It says, they all didn't want to listen to me about the start of the season. I knew exactly what would happen. I only wanted to protect the well-being of the players, which ultimately is the product and benefit of our game. Exclamation point. These injuries isn't just part of the game. It's the lack of pure rim rest. Rest before starting back up. 8, possibly 9 All-Stars has missed playoff games, most in league history. Right? You make sure to pull that out. This is the best time of the year for our league and our fans, but missing a ton of favorite players. It's insane. If there's one person that know about the body and how it works all year round, it's me. I speak for the health of all players, and I hate to see these injuries at this time of the year. Sorry, fans. Wish you guys were seeing all your favorite guys right now. Prayers up. Okay. So
Go
that's
see Space Jam
awesome.
2.
Yeah.
It's actually a high five. They actually mentioned it, but everyone else still uses it as a praying, just so you know. But whatever.
I like that. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Yeah, that guy. I like that. So that's awesome. And everything he said, he has a point. It might be true. And yes,
You're
if
right.
anybody knows about his body, right? But a body that only he has because nobody else has a body like him playing basketball. So, I mean, that's one, right? Nobody has a body like him.
Yeah.
And so that's one. But 2, sure, you're absolutely right. We could be seeing 8 or 9 more All-Stars in the playoffs, right? But if you want it, okay, that rim rest before starting the season, then go ahead and cut us a check, buddy. Go ahead and cut us a check of those 20, 30 games that you're not going to play this season, and we don't have to pay you from your contract.
No lie.
Because if you're not going to play 80 games, then I'm not going to pay you $40 million. I'm going to pay you 32. I'm going to pay you 28. The less games we play, less money you're going to get. I want you to go and get those 8 or 9 all-stars, and I want you to ask them, hey, would you rather take rest, take a couple of more months off before we start the season, or lose, 10 million, 8 million, 6 million from their contracts? And I want to see what those 8 or 9 all-stars are going to say. Because I guarantee you, James Harden don't give a shit, because he needs that money to go to strip clubs.
Hell yeah, dude! I'd be like,
I
wait,
guarantee
wait,
you,
wait, wait,
Kyrie
wait,
Irving.
wait, what?
does-
What do you mean you're not gonna pay me? It's like, well, yeah, you're not gonna play. What?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Real quick, real quick.
And Kyrie Irving's hurt. Cool. Tell him. Give me part of your paycheck. You know what? It doesn't even matter because Kyrie Irving doesn't even play in the regular season. He takes games off because mental health and because of family issues. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on mental health. If you need it, go do it. Take care of yourself. But Kyrie Irving already misses so many games to begin with. He basically had the rest you wanted, and he still got hurt. Okay?
Yeah, he still got
So if you wanted these 8 or 9 all-stars to be in the playoffs, then go ahead and cut us a check. Cut your owner, cut your franchise a check for those 20, 30 games that you didn't want to play and take a pay cut. Because your owners are still going to have to deal with paying the TV contracts. Okay?
Yeah,
they still have to pay
those
salaries.
Those aren't like, oh yeah, let me prorate your payment. No.
NBC, Fox, ESPN is not going to say, yeah, don't worry about it. That's when you can COVID. That's not how it works.
No.
Everybody needs money. Go ahead and tell that to all the workers that need a paycheck.
Cameraman,
but that since you're not playing, they're not going to be in the stadium providing, working, and getting money for their family. Are you going to pay their families? Are you going to pay for their kids, their food? That's what you should do. If you wanted those extra games off, go ahead and cut a check to every guy, every janitor, every cashier, every ticket taker, whatever their salaries are. Boom, here. Because your owner still has to pay them. And your owner has to pay your salary. Your owner has to pay all the coaches, all the staff, all the training staff. What about the announcers? Okay.
Yeah.
Like
TV deals, local TV deals,
the local TV deals. Those announcers. What are they gonna show now?
It's because like, and we kind of go back to is the team player bigger than the team or player bigger than the team? So like, I understand kind of LeBron, but like, dude, you're no offense, and you're a big part of the team, but you're a part of the team. Like, you're a face and you're a big portion of it, but you're a part. Because there's 100% of it, and you're not. You only affect this small part. I mean, this is just you. I have to take care of all these other people, whatever. Like, yeah, you're good. You're good. They ain't. When COVID hit, you're chilling at home. They needed to work.
Yeah,
they were going through finals every day.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. And I guess he didn't think that. And look, to his defense, and I'll say this: maybe he does have a plan in mind. Maybe he didn't put it out there in Twitter. Maybe he had more than 140 characters in, and he didn't fit it all. Whatever, that's cool. But he didn't. That's not what the media picked up. That's not the tweet that I read. I didn't see any other tweets from him acknowledging and saying, hey, and all these people, the rest of the franchise, what are they going to do? You don't think about that because why? You don't, it doesn't matter to you because to you, you have your money, your family's good, we're safe, we're provided for, I'm good. But what about everybody else that what you want to do is going to affect?
What do you think? Yeah, go ahead, Tosco.
No, I was just gonna say, and that's the reason why he wants more rest. Cool, then give us some money back.
Nice. If I may interject real quick,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think?
it's 10 o'clock.
It's
It's 10 o'clock. So it's
o'clock.
Mezzo Forte Sports After Dark. Here's everybody at home and you fellas right here sipping on them fine beers and spirits out there.
After dark. That's
After
funny.
it's uncut, edited. Everyone on YouTube says now we could talk about James Harden strippers because now it's after 10. So it's cool now.
You can do that definitely.
But yeah, I agree with those. If you're not gonna pay, if you want the rest, that's cool. But we're paying you the money. Maybe kind of like give a little back. Some of the other guys are gonna like fill the next men up are trying to fill up your spot because you decided to take some days off. They need the money.
Yeah.
Now, any other job would be the same. Next man up, they get the money because you took some days off.
Yeah.
And another thing, and it's one of those unspoken things that us people probably don't bring it up because we don't know about it and we don't really care. But if it, obviously, and there's only certain amount of people that can be put in this position, and I'm talking about as an owner of a team. But all of these players, they all get bonuses for going to the playoffs. They all get bonuses for the further they go, the more bonuses they get.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like it's just, they're playing also to win the championship. Don't get me wrong. But it's also good for them because they make more money and they make it to the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, if a guy got hurt and can't play, Kawhi, or doesn't want to play because he feels he's not ready, you know what? Give me your bonus back, but you haven't done anything for us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Give us those bonuses back. I mean, these are all things. These guys get paid for everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, I needed to make 1,000 points. I would have gotten a bonus. I needed to get 500 rebounds, bonus. Whatever it is. And some of these guys are right there at the end trying to get, you're not hurt then. Oh, I need 10 points. Let me get out there real quick. But the game before you didn't play. Oh, okay. Now we're good. And then the game after you don't want to play. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And some owners should be getting out there and being like, you know what? We're going to start cutting this shit out.
Yeah.
I mean,
it feels like the Spurs is essentially that's what they did.
Essentially.
I mean, they kind of got right not in the sense of like, yeah, dude, we're not really kind of gonna deal with like your BS. You're just either gonna come here to work or you're just not.
And that's it goes back. You're here to do a job. If you don't like the guidelines of your job, then don't sign up to do it.
That's exactly. I was gonna say that's my point. Where like just to answer both of you guys, like when you, I guess like okay, so like when you're a lawyer, right? You're a lawyer. You have you obviously you're able to get a lot of money, right? But you're also liable. There's a lot of risk involved. You can get sued back because you messed up on a case, whatever. If you're a doctor, same thing, right? You'll be able to get a lot of money at some point. But what does a lot of money come with? More money, more problems. More risk. You should malpractice insurance in case you get sued for that, whatever. Because it. Why? Why do you do that? Why do they have malpractice insurance? Why do they have malpractice insurance for lawyers, doctors? Because it comes with the job. Like it just is. When you play football, if you get hurt, are you surprised you got hurt? No. Why? Because you're playing football. It's a contact sport. When you if you're just chilling, on your table or, sitting on a chair, and you break your leg or whatever, all randomly, right? You'll be surprised, right? Because that's not really expected. You're just chilling. But if you're playing a sport, it's high contact basketball. If you get hurt, dude, it's part of the job. You don't have to condition. You can do the bare minimum if you like. But just know that just like any other job, if you prepare for your actual job, just constantly day by day, and just kind of because the best of the best of the best will do that, then it just comes along with that. So like with injury, like Westbrook spends like Wilson spends like $1 million in his body, so does LeBron and stuff like that a year. So like those, why they don't? Oh, stars don't do that. Why don't they? Knowing that their investment. So like for us, they always economic teacher always told me what's the greatest thing about youth in terms for money, the ability to work, the ability to be able to work. So when you're there, dude, you don't have a lot of time, especially as an athlete. I mean, even Tom Brady, yeah, he's like, a million years old or whatever, but those are the outliners where, like, say football, you have what, Tosco, what, 4 or 5 years?
Less, 2 to 3 years, maybe, if
2
you're
to 3
if you're
years.
decent.
If you're decent, if you're a superstar, you get 1 or 2 contracts.
Yeah.
In basketball, maybe stretch what? Maybe like you can stretch your
You can probably go
career.
between, you can probably go maybe 4 to 6.
4 to 6, but
If you're decent, if you're a role player, if you're a good role player, you can go more. Kyle Culver played 12 years, 10 years.
Yeah, so but and like say like soccer is essentially kind of like
they play forever.
They can play forever just because of technique and so stuff like that where but at the end injury is just part of the game. It's the ball can go one way. You can tackle the wrong way. Your foot can get stuck with the floor. That's just the way it works, dude. LeBron James, that's your profession, bro. That's your malpractice insurance. You're bad. Like, your hazard pay is millions of dollars. Exactly. That's your hazard pay. Like, the construction guy doesn't get that. Like, the construction guy doesn't get that. And he needs, like, up floors. You do. Like, you're bad, bro.
And that's one of the things. It's like, okay, well, in those, he says they didn't have enough months to rest. Well, in those months that you did have to rest, did they rest?
No.
Was Kyrie Irving taking care of his body?
No, they
was James Harden taking care of his body?
Just vacationing with the family.
And it's okay to vacation. It's okay. But if you're out there partying, drinking, smoking, eating like a slob, when you're an athlete that needs to be in shape and you need to keep your body and tuned to what you do, especially knowing that I don't have enough time to recover. If their off season is usually what,
like 3 months. Yeah, 3-4 months.
3-4 months, right? So 3 to 4 months, right, of them doing whatever they want. I can say, for the first 2 months, I ain't gonna do nothing, and the next 2, I'm gonna go hard and get in shape, whatever. And now because you only had 2 months, a month and a half off, I don't have enough time. I don't get to do whatever I want, and and that's probably more what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Time. They didn't have time to do what they wanted, and And now he's bringing it up now. He's like, all these injuries is because of that. What's that?
And also because he got hurt too in AD. Like, all these injury bugs is because that's why I went in my shit.
He's just being a sore baby.
And when did he find the time to film that Space Jam 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that took a couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Yep. That's another one. I mean,
damn, Arturo.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you think about it, it's like, he did it in there. Well, now you have less time. Hey, but you're doing a movie, buddy. You're making millions upon millions of dollars, so don't complain.
Yeah.
If you didn't have time to rest because you were too busy filming a movie, right?
So commercials are on my phone.
Yeah. And it's gonna and this is another thing. I want to hear the same thing this year because you're gonna have the stars going to go play in the Olympics in July.
Yep.
And they're not going to be done till August, so they're only going to have about a month and a half to recover. Are those guys going to be complaining next year? LeBron's not going to be there. He said no to the Olympics.
Yeah, he said no.
So, I want to hear the excuse of whatever it is next year for those guys.
Did you hear what's his KD? Because they said his agent was like, I asked him, as soon as the finals ended or the game ended,
Yeah.
you know, for the Nets, yes, the agent was like, "Hey, do you want to do the Olympics?" He's like, "Hell yeah, I want to do that shit. Like, I want to show everyone." I'm like, "Damn." So like stuff like that, where like just being on a mission, it's kind of crazy, dude. Like it's super motivating. So we'll definitely see how like that kind of plays out. Um, so even and you see, you know, KD specifically, just talk about him just because he's coming out of injury. I mean, he is.
Yeah, no, he's coming off that Achilles.
But yeah, and it's
And
like
it was an Achilles. Yeah.
yeah. And so it's like, you know, and he's a tall dude, so it's like, you know, one of those things where not only is he, you know, I mean, he's just kind of wants to prove himself. Now he, you know, feeling the even without the rest or whatever, and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really care. LeBron can do his thing. I'm just gonna do mine.
Exactly.
All right,
I mean,
guys.
everybody's different.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and start moving right into our quickly into our UEFA Euro round of 16. I'm just gonna do a little quick little review. We'll have Tosco and I kind of go over that. We'll do
The 2021 UEFA. Go for it, Daniel.
All right, thank you so much, super fun hot with the old English. So we do have Wales, Denmark. What happened, Tosco?
Hey, Denmark came out ready to go, man. I mean, they played like a team possessed, and I knew that Wales team. I know Adrian was all over it. I mean, I think Wales going into the matchup. I think Denmark. I just let me say this. I didn't think Wales was good enough. You know, they have the best team they can have, and I still think they weren't good enough. I don't know, just watching them, I don't like the way they play.
Yeah, the chemistry, dude. I feel like
they have good players.
I feel like Bale is like never in the right spot.
Exactly. Or the pass is never the right pass.
Yeah, he's like he's too far in, he's too far out. I'm like, dude, can you guys just spread out? Like, god damn it. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's the way they play.
Yeah, it was frustrating me.
It's very frustrating, and so that's what I thought first off of Wales. Denmark, after the whole Christian Eriksen thing, with Christian Eriksen, I feel that they were a good, solid team that was going to advance, and anybody who played them was going to be tough. And well, they played Wales, and now Christian Eriksen's out, but I feel they're doing it more for, you know, they're doing it for him, they're doing it for the country. You know, after whatever happened game one, they're trying to, you know, get over it, and they're using that as motivation, and they looked awesome. They came out, they were doing some things that was like, whoa. But yeah, I mean, good win. I don't know how far Denmark's gonna go, especially when because of who they have to play next. So
yeah.
So we can go on to that game.
Actually, we're Netherlands.
Well,
we'll do the Netherlands and we'll do the other one right now.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. So we're going on.
Yeah. So Netherlands, Czech Republic. So Netherlands could not pull. I was actually watching that game with my parents, and even my mom was like, "I feel bad for the orange ones." I'm like, "No, they're the penal people," and they're like, "Oh no, never mind." Dude, they have a good talented team. I feel like they're a little young and little inexperienced. You can tell, like you can kind of like because really the big part, dude, for me specifically in soccer, is the nerves. It's a long game, and you need to know how to like settle your nerves down. Where like if you're down 1, if you're down 2, even if you're down 3 goals, you have to in the back of your mind think like, dude, we can come back. You know,
yeah.
I mean, it could happen to France, but we'll talk about that later. But Netherlands just felt like towards the end, once they scored, honestly, it was only once they scored. Once they got the red card, it was over. Like the game seemed over, and it wasn't even a good red card. That's the worst part.
No, it wasn't, but it was one of those red cards that it needed to be given, and it was on probably their best defender.
Yeah, it was
And
deflating more than anything.
yeah, and so it sucks because you're right. That was the down point. That after that, it was all downhill. And you're right. It's the mentality and the nerves. And even if it was young guys or old guys, Netherlands doesn't. To me, from what I remember, this team is not really that experienced on the big stage.
Yeah.
They were on the big stage and they couldn't do it. Now, going forward, I think this was one of the teams, this one, the Czech Republic, and Switzerland, those and the Swedish team, those are teams that I feel that benefited from this tournament, whether they won, lost, made it to the round of 16, made it to the round of 8, whatever it is, because they are gaining experience so that in next year in Qatar for the World Cup, hopefully, if something like that happens, they already say, okay, we've been through this last year. Let's not put our heads down. Let's go forward and let's continue with the game. And so I was surprised at the Netherlands. I thought the Netherlands were the better team.
Yeah, I
Czech
still think
Republic came out. Yeah, but Czech Republic came out, played really well.
Yeah, played like tough.
And so they're gonna be a tough out going forward, but it's gonna be good a good game in the round of 8.
Yeah, so just moving forward with which one's next? Hold on, sorry guys. As we move over here, we're doing Italy, Austria, Belgium, Portugal. Definitely something to talk about in this case. I did see the Italy Austria game just a little with that. So they're playing. I think they're playing the best chemistry of football right now in the tournament. They're more than just talent now. Like how Italy has flair. They have a little bit more. They're bringing that like Italian football back. Which is kind of refreshing because they didn't have that, dude. They're like sticking back to the old school, or not even old school. It was like the new school European or whatever. Like not go back to the. I don't know. I feel like Italians have like a very special relationship with like even Brazilian soccer because it's like they're very similar in their styles, but whereas Italian is more like refined and Brazil is more like freestyled or free flowing.
Controlled chaos.
Cause dude, like they were passing like bruh. Like it was it was crazy because like the ball was like going through like holes. Like it was weird through like people and everything. Like if you to see it on the side, like it was going through like holes and stuff. Like it was crazy. Like it was that team. It's gonna be a very good team to watch, especially in the World Cup. I think they can win the whole thing. And Hungary, I mean, they played, but it was just a one team battle. What do you think, Dusko?
Yeah. Italy played. They're playing the best, I think, out of anybody. I mean, we can say another team later on. But I think Italy should be the favorite or should be one of the favorites going forward. They beat a good Austria team, and I think that they had opportunities for more, and it just didn't go in. So I think Italy is a very dangerous team, and you're right. They're looking like the Italy that won the World Cup in 2006.
Yeah,
they're looking like that again. Not to say they're gonna win the World Cup next year, but they're looking like at that level again. So it's good to see because, like you said, Italy was in a horrible position. This past decade, it seemed.
yeah, I was gonna say, dude, and they had good players.
And so
they had good players.
Decade,
they just.
huh?
Oh no, they had good players that would played good for their team, for their club, just not for their nation. I mean,
they didn't have
that curse, dude.
I think it was players that couldn't play the system together.
Yeah.
And that's why they were very good. And yeah, you did have some players that were generational players and you wasted them or whatever you want to say, but it is what it is. Going forward, now they have this team. They should be considered one of the favorites going forward, and it was a good game to watch. It really was. It went into extra time and everything, and they came out on top there at the end, and it was a good game to watch.
So just moving forward, just moving forward into the next one, just Belgium, Portugal. So Cristiano Ronaldo is
Ronaldo!
out. So he is actually out. Belgium did score. So Thorgan Hazard did actually score, the other Hazard, mind you, the one for Dortmund. And just Belgium, which is a little bit more deliberate in their attacking. And Portugal went all out, for the most of the match trying to come back, but it just didn't happen.
And the most frustrating thing is watching Portugal going forward, attacking more in the second half towards the end. That looked like the Portugal that we should have seen from the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. I don't understand this manager. This manager needs to be fired. I don't understand how you can play some of these guys and then take them out. Bernardo Silva was playing awesome. Renato Sanchez was playing awesome, and you sub them out. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? And then you have players up there that were playing, that weren't doing anything. You weren't getting Cristiano the ball. Cristiano barely even touched the ball the whole, the last two games. So, yeah, he had, 3-4 goals this thing. But realistically, they weren't goals where he would go and do, his magic. It was, pass, hit, in, tip ins, And so, I think Belgium has, I think, the better team. I think Belgium played better by a little bit because they really went off in the second half. And Portugal didn't show anything. I didn't get a sense of what kind of team Portugal was throughout the whole tournament.
They look old, dude.
Well, but they're not. That's the thing. They're not.
Well, I know, but they look slow. They're not slow, but you know what I mean? Where it's just like, dude, where you guys at?
It's the way they're playing. It's the formation they're playing, the kind of tactics that he wants to implement are horrible. Not with a team like this. You have talent. You have generational talent. And nope, it was always. And it's what, like they said, this is probably the best team Cristiano Ronaldo has ever had in Portugal.
Yeah.
And they couldn't make it past round of 16.
That's with Nani.
This is way better than the team he had in 2016 when he won.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Pepe was still there.
It's more of a tournament of what could have been for Portugal more than what they actually did.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about a little bit more as we get into the next one, which is the big, little bit big of a tournament shocker. Well, no, we're actually talking to the Croatia, Spain, and England, Germany one. So Croatia did lose to Spain. Spain managed to pull out 5-3, and actually pretty good competition. I actually saw up to when right before they first scored, because I was actually on my lunch break, and I was like, oh, okay, it's all right. And then because they were down or they were 1-1 forever. And I was like, oh, I wonder where they'll score. And I saw the score right after work. I'm like, what? They scored 5-3? God damn.
Was that the game that started with the own goal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, that goes back to why is that goalie starting when you have one of the best goalies in the world in the bench? Well, whatever. That's besides the point.
Yeah.
That game, I think it proved more what kind of team Croatia is more than what kind of team Spain is. Croatia's older.
Yeah.
They still have sparks of what they could have been or what they were.
Modric. Yeah.
but they're not a very good team. They're not. They're an older team. They're an experienced team, but it's a team that lacks the youth movement that they don't have. And so there was a lot of things that didn't work out. And don't get me wrong, they were down 3-1. They scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes
Yeah.
to tie it and go into extra time. And that was awesome to see.
I think that was just like I think that was mostly Spain though. Like
Well, and that's where I was getting at, to where, it shows more the lack of defense that Spain actually has, more than they won 5-3. Yeah, they won 5-3 because at the end Croatia couldn't keep up with them. It was like Spain was just boom, 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 pass, 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 and Croatia was done. They couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
They were literally getting free chances at the goal. So
yeah.
and Croatia, I mean, Spain's defense is horrible. It's just not good. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have what is it, Spilicueta?
Spilicueta's the only good one.
Yeah, but he's playing offense. He's going up. He scored.
Well, because
and
he
he's
has to. I mean, there's no
sure.
spark, dude. Yeah, I mean,
that's fine. But when your best defender is going up to play offense, then what's going to happen if you get a counter?
Yeah, it's because they really don't have a good defense.
So they really don't. And when you don't bring in Sergio Ramos, when you don't bring in Albiol, when you don't bring in Danny Carvajal, when
even
all these guys you left off the team,
Jordi Alba, like stuff
Jordi
like that.
Alba,
like some like presence that are like just consistent presence.
So yeah, Spain's they made it to the next round. They scored 5 goals. We're gonna see if they can keep it up, because the team they're gonna play can also put up some goals.
Yeah, exactly. So going into actually Germany-England game, that was a surprising game.
Very entertaining.
Is it though?
I mean, I know we talked about how Germany's already getting old and everything, and they're trying to they're in transition or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting old. I think they're in transition.
Well, they were getting old. They're in transition now. Yeah. Well, I guess I guess they got old and they're in transition now.
Yeah,
the team's gone through some changes.
Yes, they're going through some changes, and also managerial changes. And I think that's one of the worst things they do, when it's like, your manager is going to be out after this tournament, whether you win or lose, he's fired. And it's like, that really doesn't inspire much confidence there.
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean,
so do it for him. That's
Okay.
But congrats to England. I think they have a way better team. I mean, it's because they've always had good teams, dude. It's just they've always had good teams. They just never had good national teams.
I think it's more of, we have these guys in Chelsea, we need to play them.
Yeah.
Oh, we have these guys in Arsenal, we need to play them. Oh, we have these guys from Manchester United, we need to play them. They don't really work together. So how is it that you're going to win? Yeah. And now you have players that Trippier's playing at Atletico. You have Calvert-Phillips who's playing in Leeds. Grealish is playing at Aston Villa. You have guys that are, they are varied. You have Pickford who's playing Everton. You have the Mings who's playing in West Ham. So Reece James coming in from Chelsea. So you do have a variety of different players. Yes, you still have the guys from Man City. You still have the guys from Chelsea. You still have the guys from Manchester United, right? It's like these guys seem like this is the group that is working out. You have variety. You have, I think, a manager that's knowing how to set them up and playing the way they should. Instead of just, hey, you're the best. Go out there and go play and go win us the game. Because you're the best we have. He's getting more tactical and more and proving that they are the better side when they're out there, and they were the better side today.
They were, yeah. I mean,
They
it
were.
just was, yeah. That was a good game.
That was a good game to watch. They scored in the second half. Both goals came in the second half, and and Germany. It shows you the transition.
They're a little uninspiring.
Exactly, and even when they try to bring in their playmaker guys, it's just like Timo Werner is such a disappointment.
Dude, I know. It's just, dude.
I don't understand.
It's a national team. It's a national team curse,
he's
bro.
Been horrible the whole year.
Oh yeah, it's just he got COVID.
So,
no. Just no.
I just don't understand.
I don't know
where he went from being so good in what was he, Mönchengladbach, to being so bad in Chelsea and in the German team. Like he can't not do anything. He has chances. They're horrible. They I don't know. Havertz, I think they're forcing him. He's still not ready yet.
Yeah.
I think they're forcing him. He's gonna be a great player, but he's not there yet. You still have Muller who's trying to do it, but he's too slow.
I was like, dude, dude. It's like Blanco out there.
Essentially, that's essentially what it is. And so it's crazy. And now that there's going to be a change, I expect there to be a big change in the team. I feel that a lot of these old guys, it's time to go for sure. They're bringing all these new guys and do kind of like a renaissance. And okay, just because you were a starter here doesn't mean crap for me. We're bringing all these guys and we're going to go with the best of the best. And again, I think that's the mentality that Germany has right now that England had before. Oh, you're with Bayern Munich, you're playing. Oh, you're with Chelsea, you're playing. No, that doesn't mean they're the best players you have. Put them in there the way they're supposed to. Make sure they have that chemistry. Even if you're playing a guy that's on the bottom team in Germany, that's in a different league somewhere else, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
All right, so just moving into the last ones, which I think it's actually more entertaining. So it's France, Switzerland. Obviously the world champs did lose. France, they lost in penalties. And worst even was Mbappe that actually missed a penalty. Actually, you know what? He did not miss a penalty. Actually, the goalie blocked the penalty. There is a large difference, guys. Very large difference. Yeah, I mean, a penalty is like a one-on-one battle. It really is. It's literally a flippable coin. It's either left, right. You can go middle. That's kind of like way. But it was just one of the things. They just lost. I still think they're gonna do a lot of damage in the World Cup. I was very disappointed in them. Like they had like 29, 26 shots to goal. Like god damn. I just think they have a little bit too much talent for them to be playing at that level. But I think, like you were saying earlier, the Swiss just balled, dude. I mean, they just balled. I mean, they kept up with them.
And I think there was a point in the match where France knew, oh, we got this in the bag, and they kind of let down their guard a little bit, and that's when you can't do that against Switzerland. And again, and this is one of those. Switzerland has a group of guys that I think won the under 17 championship or the World Cup, 8 years back. And then they lost in the final in the under 21, that same group. And so, this is not a bad team. This is their generational team. This is their guys. This is their best golden generation for Switzerland. And you can see it. They're there for a reason. And they're in the round of 8 because they're a good team. They have it together. And they took the lead early. And it kind of was like, whoa, right? And then they missed the penalty, right?
They did.
And that the penalty was blocked, and that kind of demoralized them. And then right away, boom, 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 back to back goals.
I thought that
And
was it. I thought that was it. Like
well, I think
France.
everybody thought that was it, but France was like, oh, we're France. We turned it on, and basically France looked like France for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and that was it. And then it went back to not playing. Yeah, it went back to not playing like France. They were playing like a B team,
Yeah.
right? And I'm saying that in the sense of compared to what they are.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
they have way too much talent, dude. Like it's not
they
even
have way
funny,
too much
dude.
talent. Now,
Like,
another thing I don't like,
goddamn.
I didn't like the formation that they were playing. I didn't like the formation where they only have three guys in the back. And that's been a very popular formation during the Euros this year. A lot of teams are playing the 3-5-2-1
Yeah, because they want to do
and
the
or
whole
3-5-3. Yeah,
they
where
want to
they
have
have
that the attacking left or
the
right
wing
back.
backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can go back and the other one comes down either way, whatever.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand the
Because
concept.
why though, right? Because it's because there's a lot of like South or like a lot of CONMEBOL and stuff like that styles. So like kind of like you remember who was it? Danny Alves? No,
Yeah.
I think it was him. Who was the first one of the first? Oh, I mean, there's a lot of Brazilians in Barcelona, but I think he was one of the first ones that started going as a wing or something like that. I don't know. It was a Barcelona player, where
Yeah.
like in it was in England. Where in England, you know how England is, the Euro, the Premier. It's like everyone plays a position, and then you just kind of go down the battles. There's no long ball or whatever, but there's no individualism. No, everyone just kind of does their own, plays their position only, and then came, Messi and all the
Plays a role, yes.
all they kind of gave it a little flair. I feel like I don't know, I guess like France and all the top teams, dude, they like kind of finally got like all the old school elements and stuff like that, and they're just kind of trying to mix it now with like a all attack. You know what I mean? Like, well, they used to do this, they used to do that, so it's like let's just all attack, and then you know, you should get with three we should be good. We just need to kind of push back, like kind of like an arrow or whatever.
But if you think about it, if that's the formation you want to have, and you're going up against another team like England and Germany, they did that. They played with that formation going against each other. Well, that means that you're going to have 4 or 5 guys attacking you, and you only have 3 in the back. You have to make sure this guy comes down. Now you have 4, but now you still have 5 because now they're bringing up those extra guys. So it's like, I think it's more of a, hey, whoever gets it first type of formation type thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like, yeah, I get it. But when you have France, where you have some of the best defenders, in the world, why do you need to do that? Just go ahead and put the guys out there, get the best. For once you went up 3-1, sub out Griezmann, bring in a defender. Sub out this guy, bring in a defender.
Yeah.
Like, don't give them any room to breathe. Yeah. Don't give them any breaks. And no, they didn't.
And there you go. So now they're out. I mean,
well, they go to extra time, and then they could never turn it on anymore. They couldn't turn it on anymore, and that was it. Now they're out. And I think for the most part, France is the way better team, but Switzerland, for the most part, played a better game.
Yeah.
Definitely. And even at the end, people can say, oh, they got lucky with those 2 goals at the end. Sure, maybe they did. But if France is really that good, they shouldn't allow those goals.
Yeah.
Because they're that good.
Yeah.
And they did. So it is what it is.
And then just like the last one is Sweden, Ukraine. I mean, we still, that's all those nations there. They've been having kind of like the rivalry throughout this whole Euro. Now it's Ukraine coming up top. What do you think of that, Tosco?
Yeah, I mean, I think I preferred. I really like Isak from Sweden. I think Sweden was having a good
tournament.
Good tournament. I felt that they should. Well, I thought they were going to win, but obviously that did not happen, and it also doesn't help when you get a red card and you have that, and they take out your
Yeah.
they you lose a defender.
It's because losing a
And
defender's hard, man. Like, you can use a middle, I can use up
yeah,
top, but a defender, he plays a position, and like, it's just one of those things where, it's just hard to, just sub someone right in or whatever. At attacking position, it's a little easier, but defending, it's like, because you got the chemistry, tendencies, the movement, and stuff like that.
yeah, and that does not, it makes it more difficult um when you get that red card, even if it's not at the beginning, maybe it's towards the end or in the middle, whenever it is, getting that red card is just so, like you said, so demoralizing,
Depleting, yeah.
and it brings
Team down.
the whole team down. And so, and it was a good game. The goals came early. Sweden was able to hold off and take it all the way to extra time, and Ukraine scored right at the very end. I mean, they scored right at the very,
Yeah, like, literally. That was
literally.
and a lot of these goals, a lot of these games have been decided towards the almost very end, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like it feels like, because all people are like, oh, they only scored till the very end, so I saw this battle. I'm like, yeah, dude, but sometimes it's like a tension. It's like a tension, chest,
Mm-hmm.
chest, until someone gives, and then, like, someone scores or whatever.
Yep.
All right, guys. So we're just gonna go and start finishing up and wrapping up for today. It is getting a little late. We need to make sure Tosco gets his beauty sleep, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he don't need it. You're a handsome young boy, Tosco.
Yeah.
I
So
wish.
we'll go ahead and start wrapping up. Go ahead and go for it. Crank AV.
He's still here?
Yeah.
I'm playing. We love you, Evan.
All right, guys.
We gotta catch you talking about the McGregor fight later, Evan.
That's it for this week's episode. Hope you all can chill with us next time. Thank you so much, guys, and fans, for following us on YouTube, Twitch, and on Facebook. Follow us there and subscribe to all of our channels. Just want to thank all our sponsors today. Music provided by Studio 13th Day. This is Danny BMD with your coach Tosco, Superfat Art, and Crack AV signing off. See you later. Spring home art.
Thank you, Dan. The lesson of the day is don't listen to the haters. Boogie Cousins doesn't understand the lack of love for playoff P, and Kevin Durant can clap back against anyone on the face of the earth, including Scotty P. Remember, sports are great, but mean nothing without you all the fans. This is episode number 43. Till next time, folks, be cool, stay safe. Let's do Mezzo Forte Sportz.
Oh, my bad.
Check. Close out. Everybody, close out your